President Kamala Harris is on her first foreign trip today, tackling an urgent and difficult issue, illegal immigration to the United States. She arrived in Guatemala last night in part to learn why so many people leave the country. Vice President Harris is expected to announce new plans to address drug and human trafficking. Ed O'Keefe is in Guatemala City for us. Ed, good morning to you. So what's on the vice president's agenda?
Tony, good morning. Kamala Harris making history overnight as the first American woman to arrive in a country to full military honors as vice president. She'll meet today with Guatemala's president, who we realized has probably spoken to her more via telephone and Zoom so far than many of the people she works with in Washington. But today they'll meet face to face here at the National Palace behind us to talk about the root causes of illegal immigration. Guatemalan President Alejandro Yamatei points out he and Vice President Kamala Harris have one thing in common.
She doesn't hold back, which is good. She's frank. We're not on the same side of the coin. We are in agreement in the what, which is something. We're not in agreement in the how.
Okay. Yamatei told us a root cause of undocumented immigration from his country is the economy. And we saw for ourselves that in some cases, the root cause of immigration is literally the roots that can no longer grow. It's forced parents like Lorenza, who struggles to feed her family, to let her oldest son go north. He's now in Houston and sends money twice a month.
When was the moment that you knew he had to go to the United States?
We saw that there were some who went who already have a house. They have clothes for their family. They have clothes that they didn't have before, and they can eat what they want to eat.
Things are even more dire for Lucia, whose husband also immigrated to Houston and now works in a restaurant.
300 quetzales cada mes es lo que ustedes reciben desde su...
He sends her a few $100s a month that she mostly uses to pay off thousands of dollars in debts to a bank and human traffickers. She says the coyotes charged her husband more than $14,000 for safe passage.
Mostly people want to stay in Guatemala. They want to be in their homes. They don't want to take that horrific, very expensive trip to the United States.
Mary McInerney, a Chicago native, is country director for Guatemala for Save the Children, which helps women like Lorenza and Lucia.
If the vice president called you and said, what are the root causes of the problem in Guatemala, what would you tell her?
The main one, inequity. I mean, it's a big one. It's really big, but unfortunately, the majority of the poor and extremely poor do not have access to food, jobs, and education.
Yamatei told us targeting human traffickers should be a top American priority.
We asked her to introduce a bill in the U.S. Senate which would declare the coyotes federal criminals.
So you'd like coyotes to be prosecuted in the United States under federal law?
Así es. That's correct. And we asked the U.S. to broaden our extradition treaty.
One other thing to watch for today, how much talk is there about COVID-19 vaccines? The U.S. has already committed 500,000 doses to Guatemala. Leaders here would like more. But an independent watchdog group we talked to says there's concerns that the country's already struggling to put shots in the arms with the little supply that they have. The vice president heads tonight to Mexico, where she'll meet with President Andrés Manuel López Obrador tomorrow in Mexico City. Anthony?
Ed O'Keefe in Guatemala this morning. Thanks, Ed.